Diana from South Bay Kids Connection, and this is
Hi.
Astor, my son, and my co-host for today.
Cool.
Cool. Today we're going to talk about the game Moods
It's a game.
and how you can use it to teach social skills in your group or with your family. So this is an interesting game because technically this is an adult game. So you wouldn't really think about it for kids, but like everything, we modify it and make it for kids. It lends itself super well for a social skills group, and probably good for kids upper elementary to high school, I would say, or beyond. Okay, so just like the name implies, moods, it's all about your moods or your emotions. So let me put this away. So basically you have a game board, but we'll talk later. You technically could probably play this with just the card aspect of it. But you have a game board, it makes it fun and makes it something central for all the kids to focus on. So everybody chooses a color, and you get, this is your token. You put yourself on start. So I'll be blue. Do you want to be red? Or
Yeah, sure.
he'll be red. So you get those. It's technically from 3 to 8 players. And I would say definitely you need at least, we'll show you with 2, but I think you need 3 people really to have more fun. It's more fun with, I would say a good, like 4, 5, maybe 6 even is fun.
1 second. This is necessary.
Okay, so then after you get your piece, you get 4 little chips, and they have numbers on them, labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing we have are the actual emotions. So you have a card of, it says moods, and you have things like depressed, forgetful, bored, dignified, mysterious.
These seem like all bad things.
Maybe, well, sincere. And some of them are harder than others. So obviously what you want to do is you want to go through beforehand, and you want to pick out the ones, either A, that you're working on with your kids, B, what they encounter more often in their daily interactions, and also what is maybe a good mix of them. Some of them are very difficult, and maybe some they won't really need. So then the other thing you have is you have a little box of sayings. So this is where you really have to be careful if you have the game, or again, just make your own. Everything you're able to make yourself do. Some of these, like this one says, what would you like? No, sorry. This one says, would you like fries with that? Okay. Some of them, because it's an adult game, some of them that come with the game are a little more adult in nature. So go through it beforehand, take out the ones that are not appropriate or not appropriate to your group, and just the ones that you think that may be more funny, or just the ones that may be easier, maybe shorter sentences for the kids. Okay, so you put that in here. So the object of this game is to have your token.
Start all the way across to the finish.
To finish. So how do we do that? So we do that by guessing correctly what emotion the person is, whoever's turn it is conveying at that moment. So there are 10 spots on the game board for emotions.
And a 10-sided die for some reason.
And a 10-sided, oh, I forgot that. And then you have your die with a little thingy.
Banner.
Okay, so I usually just shuffle because I've pre-selected, or I usually would pre-select. And then I just put it out randomly. It doesn't matter, you put out the card. So this one says relieved, hopeful. Okay, so I have 10 emotions on the game board. Now, whoever goes first to be the reader, I guess you can call it, they take the cup and the 10-sided die? No, 9.
10.
10-sided die, obviously, you go through. Go like this. And then only I can see what number I land on. If I get number 1, which says relieved, I'm not going to tell anybody. What I'm going to do is pick the card, the saying card, and I'm going to emote this emotion when I say this card. So they have their chips over here, and they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you're going to do is you're sort of going to bet on which emotion you think I'm saying. So the higher your chip is, so if you want, so 1, 2, 3, 4, the higher it is the higher your confidence level of what you think. So if you really think I'm being hopeful, you're going to put a what?
A 4.
A 4. So
and
you would
if
just...
I kind of think that you're amazed, then I'll put just a 1.
Right. So I play this a little bit differently than the actual game rules. The actual game rules say you just use 1 chip at a time, and so you have to choose wisely between your chips. So if you're not exactly sure, maybe you want to reserve your number 4 chip for your next turn. But the way I play with the kids is I let them use all the tokens. So they might like, oh, I really think it's hopeful, so I'm going to put a 4, but it kind of might be bossy as well, but I'll put a 3 for that one, just to make it not so stressful on them that they have to choose that 1 token. But if they're more advanced or you think they would like it better, then you can try the other way. I just try to keep it as light as possible because it doesn't take away from the main goal of the activity, but it makes it more enjoyable.
Question, can you put multiple chips on 1?
No.
All right.
1 chip per emotion. Okay, so let me see if I can convey this emotion. I'm gonna roll again here. Oh, it's the same one. This is hard. Would you like fries with that?
Do we keep the chips between each round?
So the way I play is, you can choose how you want to play, but in how we're going to play is you can use all your chips, and the next round you can have them all back.
Okay. Put a 4 on hopeful, 3 on amazed, 2 on relieved.
So the one he thought most I was doing was hopeful, and you are correct. Oh, that was a tough one though. Yeah, and some of them, a lot of the emotions are kind of similar, so you can make it so it's really tough by putting similar emotions together, or make it a little easier by having more contradictory emotions. So I'm going to give him all his tokens back.
Yay!
I can take this one out, hopeful, because we already did it, or I can leave it in the rotation. But what I might do is just change the placement, like I'll put hopeful number 3 and change it around a little bit. It doesn't really matter. Just always remember what's your objective of the game is to get them thinking about the emotions. Okay, so he guessed 4. He guessed it right. That means what?
I move up 4?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And do you get stuff for that?
Because I want to incentivize the kids to actually do their best and not try to purposely trick other kids so they don't get the points. If I let whoever spoke, whoever's turn it was, whatever the highest number that somebody else got, they get that number too. So since you got 4, I'm going to go 4 too, because you got it because I did such a good job conveying the emotion. And you too, but it was more of a...
Bill did it.
That's right, teamwork.
I missed it. I'm bad with my left hand.
You're looking at the camera. Okay, now you go.
Ooh, it's my turn.
And let them have some ownership of it. Like I said, like move the emotions around, pick some new ones. So the other part is the sentences or the questions and the emotions sometimes really just do not go together. So it's very tough.
This is what kind of meat?
I'm going to say 4 for confused, 3 for relieved, 2 for suspicious, and 1 for hopeful.
Okay.
What was it?
Suspicious.
Oh, it's suspicious.
It was.
That's
It's
hard.
so hard
Yeah,
to
now
not do it confused.
Yeah.
This is what kind of meat? It's hard to.
But you know what? Now that I looked at your eyes better, I should have been looking at your eyes
I'm
better.
trying to not sound confused.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Those are similar. Yeah. And I think if I looked at your whole face better instead of just hearing your voice, I would have gotten more clues.
Oh yeah, I just
So
feel
that's
like
some feedback you can give to the kids. Okay, so that's basically how it goes, and then you just play until somebody wins. And sometimes we don't finish the game and no one cares because it's just fun playing, right? So if you don't want to buy the board game, you can always make it yourself. All you really need to do is, all the main parts that you need are just the emotion cards.
Honestly, you can do that with like most games. To make it.
Most games we end up, maybe not most, but yeah, many games we end up just making ourselves because we have the basic premise because we modify so much. But it's kind of nice to have the game board sometimes. Makes it a little bit more official and sort of last longer. But really, it's simple. Just write out the emotions. You can use index cards or you can just print it out or just write it out. And then you have the little saying cards, which you can do anything. Just something relatively short and silly yet appropriate. And that's it. And then you can use point system if you want, or just play for fun to not have that competitive edge. It's totally up to the dynamic of your group and what you guys need to work on and what you think would be better.
And I feel like this game is also very customizable just because you can basically change however you basically just change the game however you like. However you like.
Yeah, that's the important thing of any game, that you know how to adapt it according to your group and your needs, or your children, not necessarily a group. You could always play it with the family, right? And that's it. Well, let us know if we missed anything or you have anything to add, and we'll be back with another game review soon. Bye.
Like, subscribe.